Comrade, it's been 100 days since President Bola Ahmed Tinubu assumed office as Nigeria's president. What part of the economy have you seen an improvement from the ordinary to the central?
To be candid with you, everybody has the right to his own opinion. And because Nigerians survive, no matter how the situation is, I want to believe that there is a part of the economy I am not privy to, because maybe I'm not an economist or I'm not able to look at the data properly. But on the surface view and local parlance analysis, I would say that we are yet to see those angles of economic change and reforms that the Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration has given us. Because I want to believe that maybe there are policies, directions that will be yielding results in the coming days. And I think that a lot of things we just see as a result of the normal. People just call for symposiums, gather people, make statements, write books, and all of that. And people are applauded for one stuff or the other. It's a pitiable situation for me to make references to 2012 when I felt it was the best time ever for us to have removed the fuel subsidy process properly as a government. But then at that time, the present president and even the past, we are the front burner believing it was the worst and it shouldn't ever happen, because then at the time they were never in government. But thank God today, the fuel subsidy that I do not ever believe ever existed, because at some point in time we had a government who came out to let us understand that they didn't understand what was transpiring. The corruption in there was so much, and they felt it had to be removed completely. Let no checks be signed to that effect. And let's see what happens going forward. But the powers that equally be outside the government at the time, including the present president, clearly saw to it that it had to stay, and it was the mainstay, and it was necessary. You can remember the statements made. The videos are still everywhere. But now the president comes in and believes that this is the right time to remove this fuel subsidy. It is shocking, it is disturbing, because when you look at the exchange rates here and there, look at the minimum wage, you just can only weep. The Nigerians are really, struggling to breathe. They are being held at the jugulars, and I think it is not really, really easy for the Nigerian people. So from a local parlance analysis, from a commuter's viewpoint, from the people's opinion poll, I want to say that let's just only hope that the policy directions will be giving us results going forward. But for now, it is only an imagination in the minds of the common people. Or maybe in the elites and in the hearts of the elites and the economists, maybe there's a policy direction that we are yet to see.
Great. Now, speaking of policy direction and its impact in his first 100 days in office, there are basic key indicators to reflect a functional, a growing or a strong economy, or economy that tends to be growing. It depends on the economic activities primarily. Now, when we talk about the economic activities, how active are the economic activities in this country? How many people are able to buy and sell? How many people are able to stay in business? Now, that's on one side. Now, talk about job growth, like job creation or job being created and all of that. How many people right now can say, okay, they've been able to get their jobs back or stay in job? We don't know the number of that. Now, if you bring it down to the angle of the GDP, let's not even go there. The World Bank or was saying yesterday that there are loans that has been signed with them, that they can no longer give loans because there are loans that have been signed with them that has not been activated. If you look at all of this, look at the health sector, look at all the sectors. Like you said, we don't know the policy direction of this government, economic policy direction of this government. So if you look at the average economic activities in terms of ability to buy and ability to sell, I don't know how many Nigerians have been doing that. We left off on 8 years that threw Nigerians into a dark spot. We're now into a government that for a man with that, so many people said, oh, how he built Lagos, how he did this. As I sit down here, I cannot readily say that this is the economic direction of this government. So with all of this factor, how many jobs do you think has been created? What are the economic activities that seem to be growing in the country? What are some of the indicators or indices that we can say, okay, the average market one can be able to buy his goods of 100,000 naira. Oh, okay, I think I'm going too far with 100,000 naira. Let's say 20,000 naira. You know, they talked about it. I think there was a Kano State talked about the mass marriage thing that they're going to give the women 20,000 naira to trade. So if this 20, let's say they buy pepper, I don't know. What aspect of the basic can we say, okay, transportation has improved?
It's a very hard...
The cost of food, basic food, staple food, for instance, has improved. Or this is a plan on improving that, if you may.
It's a difficult one for me, and I think it's equally difficult for you, because by your questions, it's obvious that you could not really wrap your head around the policy directions where we should applaud the government of the day. But one can say that I think we're having the highest number of ministers ever. So let's believe that the highest number of ministers will trickle into development over time, because now we have about 45 ministers in the 37 states or 36 states of the Federation. And let's believe that, okay, their appointees, their domestic staffs and all of that, might be some indices upon which the analysis have been made, they're giving the direction. But if you want to look at it, or you don't want to be politically correct or want to be a cycle, you think that that's a very wrong direction we are even towing from the very start. So you cannot, for me, like I said, we are a country where we have enjoyed praise singing, we have enjoyed psychophancy. Let's just move with the crowd, and it has not really helped us or done us good, but that has become like the normal standard, and now we're living with it. And I think that's where we are finding ourselves again. People talking about rejuvenating the economy in the first 100 days. To what state and in what direction? You can imagine that we removed subsidy. It was after we have removed subsidy, we started thinking about palliative measures, about the subsidy we want to remove, and on an already heightened cost of petroleum, which is our mainstay of oil, which is our mainstay as a nation. It's after we've removed subsidy, we are thinking of what measures are we going to use to cushion the effects of the subsidy removal. So, with all the hula baloo of labor and the previous administration, we know that the subsidy, we want to remove subsidy in the manner we want to remove it. We never thought about a convergent point when labor and government will get to where it's okay, this is the minimum wage increment we're going to be putting in place. But I've removed subsidy before I'm entering into these meetings. So whether you like it or yes, I think too many wrongs we've started on this administration has started on a very wrong footing. There are a lot of people that this administration have pinpointed and have even given ministerial offices that the Nigerian people on their own have a lot of baggages attached to the necks of around the necks of these persons. You can imagine we're still talking about people who have gone for service and people who have not gone for service, but they are ministers and all of that. You can imagine where we are today. So for me, the indices does not portend the best for us going forward. However, we cannot lose hope. We have to believe that there is this magic wand that we are yet to connect with. But let's just hope and trust that there is this magic wand that will see over time, because we're almost helpless as Nigerians. We're just living by the day. So whether we like it or yes, like you stated, are we going to look at the prices of food or price of commodities? Now everything that is being imported is on the highest high, because why? The naira is falling by the day. And so when you look at the exchange rate and supposing it with imported products, you realize that there's almost no hope inside. But like I always believe, there's always hope, and there's a magic wand we always believe in. Nigerians know how to survive. We're surviving and we'll survive all the way. But going forward, I think it is really, really, for me, an abysmal performance so far. People applauding the government for policy direction. I think they have their own indices, and I respect them as well.
No, okay. Well, the truth of the matter is, when you say policy direction, you understand, managing multiple taxes, ease of doing business, and all of those are factors in supposedly. But what is the direction? Give us a statement, a policy statement. This is where you're going to. But again, like you talked about the ability to import and to export goods, which would also help our forex, if you may. But I don't know I don't even know what we have right now, because the last time I checked, the dollar is still on the rise. But again, it keeps fluctuating. Maybe, like you said, there could be a miracle, magic wand somewhere that the government will use to help us all out.